Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I wanted to come today, this week, to talk to you about the power of thoughts. Thoughts are something that you might take very, very lightly. I don't know if you're like me. I did not know just how powerful our thoughts are in how we see ourselves and how we see others. Thoughts are so powerful because it's perception. It's how we view ourselves, the world. It all starts internally within ourselves, and I really didn't take thoughts seriously. Like my mom would say, Gloria, sit down and meditate, and I would have a snooze fest. Like I would sleep in the moment of you're supposed to meditate. Think about where your life is going, what you want to do in your life, what you aspire to be, the impact that you want to make. I would have a snooze fast. Like after maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I'm like, what's next? I think I've done my meditation for the year. But I realized that she is right in the sense that we have to take the time to really think about what we're thinking about. This is something I never really considered and took seriously, but I really encourage you guys to really take that time to think about what you're thinking about, because those thoughts are also leading you towards your destiny, and you want to make sure you're thinking thoughts that are leading you to where you should be, as opposed to leading you the opposite. Because the dominant thoughts are what really give us a picture of what we're thinking about. If you're thinking right now, I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I've gained so much weight with COVID. I'm not going outside for my normal walks or able to go down to the gym to exercise as I need to because the gym is closed. And I'm making an excuse of that, but I'm like looking at how much weight I've gained, and I'm like trying to fight thoughts of thinking of myself less than I should. I am still beautiful, a little tubbier, but I think they called it even the COVID belly. They made a joke out of it. But a little chubbier, I shouldn't say tubbier, chubbier. But you know what? I get to appreciate the fact that yes, I have put on some weight, and I won't let those thoughts dominate me, because I know I'm much more than just how I appear. I can still constructively feed my mind and work towards the purpose that God has for me. So thoughts really are so powerful. Like I used to be the type of person who used to dwell on, like if I came across a problem, I would dwell on it for hours, sometimes even days, And when you realize that it's what we would consider worry, or maybe even anxiety at that, these anxious thoughts or these worry thoughts, those are thoughts that you kind of want to eliminate first and foremost. You don't want to be worrying about what tomorrow will be, worrying about, how you're going to cope with things. You just surrender. When you surrender things to God, He just puts everything in perspective. I mean, we know that the word says we shouldn't worry. I mean, look at the birds. If the birds are fed, they're not worrying about where their next meal is going to come from. Why should we be spending that unnecessary precious time that precious time doing unnecessary thinking that will not yield us anywhere? Like, I don't know if you've ever spent time worrying about tomorrow, worrying about your future, worrying about who your husband will be, or worry about financial obligations. I'm gonna have to grow up and be. I remember when I turned 20. Oh my goodness, you almost would think I reached adulthood, actually officially for the first time. It was not a happy birthday. It was a birthday where I was like, I'm gonna have to be responsible now. I had to wake up and realize that I'm now no longer a child. I'm no longer a teenager. I am an adult, not just I can't just do the things I used to do. Or like I had to grow up mentally. And oh, it was something else. But yeah, don't spend your time worrying. Worrying doesn't add any extra measure, any added things to your day. It just takes away. Like, if you think about the amount of time you spend worrying, you gain nothing, and you don't even resolve the problem, or you don't even resolve anything in that sense. You just spend a whole lot of time thinking about something that really, maybe in actuality, will sort itself out. And really, it's not meaningful. You want to be able to live a life of purpose and meaningful, and follow, God's heart and what He says about you. That's another thing. Adopting His thoughts over your own. So, like I explained with the whole weight thing this morning, I was telling myself, you know what, Gloria, you are beautiful. God has made you so beautiful. May have put on a few pounds. That's not a big deal. We will work it off as soon as we get the opportunity with time. But we acknowledge this is where we're at. But we're gonna work our way towards being better, like day by day. Let's take one step and try to be better. I was speaking to myself and saying, you know what, Gloria, you are God created you beautiful. There was nothing missing. He didn't create a piece of junk. There was nothing missing in your DNA that says you like this or you like that, or I'm this way because of this, or I'm this way because of that. God made me who I am and whole in who I am. And I gotta dig deep to find all that I have in me to pursue all that He has for me. And I really encourage you guys to just go out there and don't let thoughts hold you back. That's another thing. I used to keep myself in a little box of I can't. You come across an opportunity and you're like, oh no, I don't see myself as that. Oh no, I don't see myself as that. I look back and I see the opportunities that I would have passed by because of my thinking. I thought small. I didn't think of myself highly. I didn't think of myself as qualified yet. Because God recognized that in me, and He put people in before me who recognized the same, I was afforded opportunities that normally I seriously maybe never sought or saw myself doing. Like somebody telling me, Gloria, you're gonna be a leader, I would have said, huh? Me? Leadership was probably something I never pursued in my life, but I find myself in leadership roles a lot, and I love it. And I never thought I could be somebody who would be in a leadership role. And I can tell you countless avenues where I've found myself in leadership roles, and I've enjoyed it. And it's amazing what God will do. But don't limit yourself in your thinking. We are what we think. We are heading towards the direction of our dominant thoughts. Those dominant thoughts are going to be, if you don't work on controlling, especially the negative thoughts that maybe make you feel like you're not good enough, put those lies aside and focus on what God says about you. God says that you're more than enough. I'm going to say what I had Him say to me today. He never created a piece of junk. You have nothing missing. You are whole. You have everything that you need to be successful in this life, to make something of yourself. You are not like a potential probability. No. You have everything in you to be able to go out there and do things. Do what God created you to do. Do even more than you anticipate in your own thinking, in your own mind that you're capable of. I wouldn't have seen myself doing YouTube videos. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined this. But God has a higher purpose, a bigger purpose for each and every single one of us. And I just greatly encourage you to draw closer to Him. I share what I've experienced in this journey, drawing closer to Him. It has been such a rewarding experience because I know more about myself than I think would have had it taken maybe years of experience of maybe hitting walls that I would have discovered, oh, I'm like this, I'm like that. But in actuality, I now know who those things without actually having to go through that. And I'm grateful to God because I'm having this experience to be able to draw closer to Him, surrender myself to Him. He cares about you. I don't know who's watching and what they may be thinking that God doesn't seem to care. I'm going to tell you this right now. God cares about you more than you could ever imagine. Not even a single teardrop that goes down your face does He not sit there and, weep as you weep. He is right there with you. Sometimes we think, I'm too much in the dark. If your thoughts have led you to a dark, dark place, I just tell you that God is right there with you, and He will pull you out as long as you are willing and you want to come out. Surrender to Him because He will take you from the darkest of darks. If you are in a pit, that's the thing. People don't think that God is like right. He is everywhere. He is omnipotent. And He is going around the world seeking who He may show Himself to, like show His strength to. So why not surrender to Him today and just say, God, I need you. I need you right now in this place. What Gloria is speaking is relevant to me right now. I feel like I'm in a dark place. My thoughts are really leading me a place that I don't want to go. And I want to change that perception. I want to change that perception and adopt your ways over what I have had the world tell me I am, what I've heard others tell me I am. I want to hear from you directly. What do you say I am? Who do you say I am? Whose do you say I am? And let Him just respond in a loving, fatherly, nurturing environment. And step by step, let Him pull you out so you can start to see light. And when you start to see light, I can tell you, I have been there in the dark, dark places. I have been there hopelessly, not seeing my life going anywhere. And God just intervened in a way that I'm just grateful to be in this place today, being able to share what I know and be able to minister to people and tell them, this is what I know and this is how you should pursue God. You can be in that same position too, where you have come full circle. And I know many people will think, oh, Lord, you seem like you have it together. I don't. I am not perfect. I still am a work in progress, but I can tell you that I've left, and I'm just heading towards that goal where I am just in His presence all the time. I'm not letting the world, stop me, hinder me from anything that He is asking me to do. I'm not letting my flesh tell me otherwise. I am letting Him dictate and lead me every step of the way. And that journey, trust me, it could be even a lonely one at that, but I will be entertained. I will be in a happy place. I feel so loved, with God's presence. He is sufficient for anything that you ever need. He is the all-sufficient one, and all He asks is you call on Him, and He will meet you where you are. Don't think you're too far out of His way, saying, oh, I have these flaws, I am so bad, I have not, God doesn't see any of that. God looks at the heart, and I'm telling you, you have more good than you have bad. So don't allow those bad, negative things to stand out. You have goodness in you, you have light in you, and you accepted Jesus into your heart, and don't let the devil steal that. Darkness, if you see how bright it is here, darkness cannot overtake you. Light always outshines darkness. and you can see clearly. Imagine a world where all we had was darkness. All we saw was darkness. Everything in our path was dark. We couldn't see anything. I thank God we have light. We have sunshine. We have days where it just brightens our day when we get to wake up in the morning and know it's the morning. How would we tell between light and darkness and morning and evening if we didn't have light and darkness? So they're really completely opposite forces, if I could put it that way. And you gotta choose which side you want to stay. If you want to stay in the dark, then you'll stay in the dark. But God doesn't want you to stay there, and He's right there with you until you're ready. And He was more than willing to take you onto the other side. Light. You see yourself the way you see Him. You strip yourself of all those negative thoughts, all those negative things that may have held you back. God is more than able to do anything in our lives, again, according to the power within us. We have to yield. We have to be willing to surrender. Recognize that, I need Him. I need Him. And trust me, every day for me is a day I need Him more and more and more. I've grown to depend on God so much so that my thoughts are really focusing on asking Him things, talking to Him, trying to get answers to solutions. Sometimes I just call it randomness. I'm just randomly thinking random thoughts that don't even matter or not even relevant. But I know somebody is listening, and He is with wide eyes listening to you, listening to your needs, listening to anything you may ask. He is right there with you. So I greatly encourage you, especially this time when we're literally pretty much confined in our own spaces. Think about the thoughts that you're thinking about, and don't let those thoughts of negativity slide, those worry thoughts slide, anxious thoughts. Don't let them come and take away from you, because those are the thoughts that, if we allow to dominate us, are leading us to a certain path that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna lead us to the destiny God has for us. Remove those thoughts, remove all those negative things, and allow God to show you the way to think, how to approach your mind. I've had some really powerful books that I've read over the years, but one that really stood out, over the last year, not over the years, over the last year, but one that really stood out to me was The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer. If you have the opportunity, check that book out. It is going to open your eyes to reveal to you some of the things that we think about. One thing I never really considered was a thought, the pity. I call it the pity me thoughts. Pity me, oh, poor Gloria, oh, don't you feel so weak, oh, poor Gloria. Those thoughts, no. You have to remind yourself who you are in Christ. There are down days. I'm not going to say that we don't experience days that we're down, but for us to stay down, those thoughts that allow us to say, I don't think I can. Pity Gloria, pity me. No. You need to get up and get moving. Because every day that you allow yourself to stay in that state, it really is a day you'll never get back. And if you really are struggling in those areas, I really encourage you to pick up that book. It is so powerful what Joyce Meyer has to share in those books. And I'll end it with this. Take every thought captive is what the Bible says. So take it seriously. Take every thought captive, because you don't know how powerful those thoughts are in the decisions that you make. And in those decisions, are they leading you towards God's purpose and destiny for your life, or are they not? So take that time, reflect, and really think about what you are thinking about. God bless you.